They have the hard-hitting analysis.
I'm anti-injury, so maybe this won't work out.
Kyler's only playing one tight end this week, so that's probably going to help him out a lot.
They tell it like it is.
That's not what I needed, Grandma Nut.
All right, the hipster fantasy player.
I don't do anything.
Their listeners love them.
Found all your charts boring, to be frank. Caitlin was the star of the show.
They break down all the statistics.
20 points. That doesn't quite add up. Maybe he had 93.
This is the Snick Snack Sports Podcast.
Here we... All right, Snickers, help me out.
What's going on, all my friends out there? Say punters are people too, and how are you doing today, Nate? You could have taken off more shirts, I think.
Doing great today, Snickers. It's a cold day out there today. Had to bundle up, but I'm glad that I packed my Patriots jersey. How are you doing tonight?
Doing well on this 74-degree night.
Yeah.
Sorry to call you out there.
A spring evening. Nice t-shirt weather.
No, but we got a great show scheduled for tonight. A lot of talk about punters, a lot of talk about kickers, a lot of talk with our guest Katie, last year's champion.
That's right, and resident punter and kicker expert. We assume. We actually have not heard if she has any thoughts about punters, but we can only assume. And you're right, big show tonight. We will get into it by checking a look at the standings again. Let's see. We take a look here. We actually have now a new sole leader of the pack. Things been moving around a lot the past few weeks.
Yeah, Nick Adams, 6-1. Having a great year. I know he was on just a couple weeks ago and was talking about how he was very optimistic about his team. Looking at it right now, I saw his starters Kenny Pickett, and he had Justice Hill in his RB2. So, I mean, good for him that he's able to work it out with such, average players.
I mean, looking down at the standings here, he is in 5th place in points scored, which isn't too shabby either. I know you could not have disagreed with him more on his draft strategy, but here he is. It's working out. I mean, what to say about that?
Yeah, no, good for him. I hope it continues to work out as long as I'm not facing him. So.
Yeah, and Ducky's been on a bit of a tear here, 5-2 now. I'm gonna have to make it 5-3 this week. Not too worried about that myself, but you finally had a win last week.
Yeah, no, I got a win. Ducky knocked down John, who was previously 5-1, so it was good for him. Obviously, Kyle is scoring like crazy. He's taking the Kenny strategy from early in the season and taking Kenny's points, it looks like, too. But the other news is Kyler still stinks, unfortunately.
Yeah, Kyler is now only at 2% playoff chance, which is pretty bad for halfway through the season. Not getting any respect there. Yeah, Kenny's team has really been falling apart. It was a huge powerhouse, by far and away highest scoring, and now we see is right in the middle of a pack, actually right next to you. Scored on the year.
Yeah, I've been going a little bit down too. I mean, I had one really down week, and then the other ones are, still about 120. But yeah, it's getting tight, definitely in the middle there. It's going to be a really close playoff race like it was last year.
I agree. I think 11 through kind of 2 are not lock-ins yet, not shoe-ins. I might call Nick a shoe-in at this point. He's 2 more wins. So, we had a bet last week. It was Mark Andrews on your end versus TJ Hawkinson on my end. How did that go?
Yeah, Mark Andrews got the 2 touchdowns, and that secured it. He got 20 points. Hawkinson, even though he got probably twice as many yards, twice as many catches, only got 14 points. But I got the win, up 4-3. I don't know what that feels like. This feels great.
Yeah. You have not been in the leaders role very often, but we're having some good back and forth here. I was thinking for a bet this week. We'll cover this more later in the show, but this week Ducky had some bad luck in terms of snagging waiver wires. One of them was the battle for Dalton Kincaid, what may have been his record performance of the year. Dawson Knox on the waiver on the IR, and me and him both bid exactly $12. Got him because I'm low down on the waiver order, and so now it's going to be me against him, and I have Kincaid. So I'm saying Kincaid beats his wide receiver, also great at pickup this year, Sam Laporta. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that Sam Laporta has been excellent, especially at home with Jared Goff. That's exactly what he's doing this week, going against the Las Vegas Raiders in Detroit. I think Sam Laporta, who I know Dalton Kincaid's getting a late start, Sam Laporta is technically the best rookie tight end of the year so far. So I'm picking him to win.
Yeah, battle of the rookies. I think this is where it's painted. And so, yeah, let's take a look at some of the matchups from last week, just to highlight. We can see, it was not a close game between me and Katie, so it really didn't matter that I played Chris Godwin over Kristen Kirk. Not a good decision, but not going to change anything there. Mid-tier Nick destroyed his brother-in-law. That must have felt good. A close one between Tyler and Shane. But Shane did come out on top. He's someone who's overperforming right now, and we'll talk more about that later. The epic battle between Ducky and John. And Ducky takes out John for the first time legitimately all year.
Yeah, and no, this was actually really interesting. I was following it going to Sunday night. I think Ducky's was projected to lose by 10 points, and he ended up winning by 14 or something like that. So he had a good Sunday night, Monday night. AJ Brown obviously is what his Sunday night, Monday night good game was, but yeah, Ducky's hot right now.
Yeah. And then, yeah, as we saw, Kenny continues to play poorly. Kyle burning things up right now as well, getting into the wins column. And then Carson had his fail to set the lineup week.
He did, and that stinks. And we'll talk about Bijan in a second, but I was doing math all throughout the weekend of who he could possibly pick up, and based on their projections, I still would have won. I'm just going to put it out there. I would have won by less, but I still would have won if he played waiver wire pickups.
That was not what I could have said about John's lineup weeks. So that's fair. You had a good week, or an average week, anyways.
Yeah, decent week. Got a dub.
But yeah, I mean, playing 3 people who didn't end up playing, he couldn't have known about Bijan, but David Montgomery and Dak were obviously not going to play, and so shame on him. But he wouldn't have won anyways, it sounds like. So yeah, what was going on in the NFL last week?
Yeah, like you covered already, Dawson Knox is injured going to the IR, so it's going to be a possibly big week for Dalton Kincaid. Next couple weeks, going into a couple good matchups, including tonight against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We got Jamal Williams coming back from IR. We got Sean Watson, who is injured. We'll say that. It's not like he doesn't want to play football against the 49ers and the good teams, and then not want to come back in against the Colts because his shoulder hurts a little bit. And then Bijan Robinson was sick. We'll leave it at that. Arthur Smith came up against the press yelling about climate change and said that, Bijan just wasn't getting the hot hands, but that's not true. A lot of questionable news this week, but hopefully Bijan's tummy doesn't hurt anymore next week.
Yeah, and then he actually played through the whole game, but he did have concussion symptoms after the game, and so he is going to be out this week, it seems like.
Yeah, we got a big old number 3 overall pick, Sam, coming into the game. Going to start this week, it looks like.
Yeah, and any other news?
That's it. I mean, Dolphins are getting Jalen Ramsey back possibly, but that just sucks for the Patriots who are going up against them this week. So no big fantasy news there.
No, yeah, I guess that's real more regular football news. And now we're gonna have Katie join us in just a second. But first, we have a word from today's sponsor.
Have you ever heard the phrase aged like fine wine? Well, we at CA2 haven't, because we don't believe in aging. If you listen to everything we tell you, you will never age. To help you freeze time like a cryogenic chamber with Ted Williams' body in it, we're releasing our patented, acidifying CA2 method Pinot Grigio. All it takes is one bottle a night and we'll guarantee you'll stop aging in its tracks. You don't even need to drink it. You can.
Put it on your skin and it makes you live forever.
The mix of nightshades and lactic acid combine for an unstoppable force of protection for your body. For the low price of $49.99 over 5 payments, you can get a bottle of CA2 Method Pinot Grigio. We guarantee it has the acid your body needs and the taste your mouth wants.
Yeah, thank you to CA2. We actually bundle ourselves over the off season. I enjoyed it quite a bit.
Yeah, no, CA2 is definitely good wine.
Absolutely. All right. Welcome to the show. How you doing tonight?
You asking me?
I'm asking you.
I'm great. I'm doing great. I had to stop dinner for this, so happy to be here.
Well, we're happy for you to join. What's been going on in your season so far?
Pure domination of every team that I play. I don't recall having any losses. The stats could disagree, but you know, there are errors in technology.
But
No, you did get a big win last week against Nate. You beat him by like 50 points.
Yeah, I don't like doing that. It's so frustrating when this is going to sound really mean. It's so frustrating when you absolutely annihilate somebody, because then you lose another week by like 2 points because the law of averages, right? Like you don't want your point total to be high because you rock some weeks and like totally suck others. But last week was good because I had a lot of players on bye, so.
Yeah.
So I mean, if that feels good, Nate, I beat you with a crippled team.
Oh, I had a couple person by as well, but I did make the strategic choice, unlike you, to save up my points for a more worthy opponent.
Okay. Well, you know, I'll see if you make it to the playoffs.
I mean, ESPN seems to think I will, so. Now I know this is a big season for you, Katie, because it's the season of the punter. And that was
yes.
Your choice.
Well, I mean, I stand by it, but I will say I wish that I would have played the waiver wire a little bit better on the punters. I've been a little bit asleep, just, you know, riding the high of crushing everybody's teams. And like some of the best punters were picked up in free agency. So
that being said, you do have the 9th best punter on the year, fantasy wise. I know I say it every week that Trustway is the best way. But he's also the leader in the locker room, best ping pong player on the Commanders, as far as I know.
Wow. I think you're the only Commanders fan. As someone who lived in DC, no one roots for the Commanders.
I root for Trustway, definitely.
That's it.
Wearing a Dustin Colquitt jersey right now, so.
Wearing a Penn State quarter zip.
Yeah. Penn State have a good punter?
Pass. No, he's all right. I mean, the problem is that we went against Ohio State's punter and he friggin' killed us. He punted like, I don't know, he had like a 60-yard punt or like some insane punt. I mean, it rolled, but like it was a crazy good punt.
Yeah.
I was told I wasn't allowed to compliment Nate, but he did pick up the second best kicker or the second best punter in free agency. So
yeah, Wisnowski's been serving me very well.
Yeah. I don't mean to start an arms race and have everybody bid all of their money, but you know, to those viewers out there who have tuned into the punting episode, the number 6 punter is available.
Wow, why is he?
Huh?
Why is he available?
I don't know, that he's just available. I think people don't pay enough attention to punters. I think the people that pay attention to punters have already picked up punters in free agency, and everybody else is asleep.
What are your views on stashing punters on the bench? Because I feel like you have the 9th best punter. Why not pick up the 6th if he's there? Maybe trade him for like a top end running back later.
See, oh yeah, for sure. My thing with punters is I don't know as much about the stats of punting right? Like, what's the margin between the sixth best punter and the seventh best punter? Like, really, what's the point? Like, is it 0.2 difference? I don't know.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. Difference between like the 15th and the 25th best punter is about a point.
Yeah.
Looking like between like 6 and 9 points is what everyone on the waiver wire is getting right now.
I think like my thing, and this is with all players, I just want consistency. Like I want someone that's going to show up every week and score consistently an amount of points.
Yeah, no, I mean, one of the I'm noticing here is that there's a huge cliff after punter number 8, and then 9. Trust Way just seems to be not in comparison.
All right, okay. I mean, what inspired you? This is my question for you, Nate. What inspired you to pick a punter up off of waivers?
I believe it was that my last punter had gotten fired and was no longer.
His kicker also just got fired last week, so Nate knows how to pick him.
Should have done a kicking episode for you then. Then I could tell you what kicker to pick up. Here I'm telling you a punter to pick up, and that's just not helpful for you anymore.
Yeah, no, Brett Maher, I believe his name, got canned, and so I don't remember who I picked up, but I'm sure he's great. No, it was he was number 6 on the year, I think, or 8 or something.
Yeah, that's not bad. Again, my thing with like the rankings for punters and kickers is I don't know how much it means anything because it's also probably dependent upon which teams they're playing too, like early season, late season. No, I suppose that's every position, but.
And that's why we have you on the show, Katie, to give us the strategy, because I think it's
yeah, bid all your money on Jack Fox, and if you don't, then you're done.
Jack Fox. And which position does he play?
He's a punter.
He's a punter for the Lions, Nate. He's sponsored by Barstool.
Wow.
Oh God, don't pick him up. Don't pick him up. He's gonna get Me Too'd next week if he works for Barstool.
Big Cat says he's the best punter in the league.
Oh, sure.
Now it might be the right time to transition to talking about the upcoming week, Katie, and seeing what the kicker matchups are for you and your opponents. It looks like you are playing your husband.
I am. He lives in fear of my punting abilities every day.
It doesn't look that way on the stat sheet here. It seems to be saying that you actually have the inferior punter in terms of projection this week. What's going on there?
Well, I will say that, ESPN probably employs a lot of fantastic people. They don't get their stats perfect. And as Matt knows from last week, when he let a 30-point player sit on his bench, sometimes they get it wrong. And this is going to be one of those weeks.
I see.
One thing I did notice about this matchup, Katie, is that Matt is holding Nick Folk, the kicker for the Tennessee Titans, on the team. I know you're a big Nick Folk fan last year. How do you feel about him being on a different team this year?
I'm just really upset that the Patriots can't commit to a kicker because I am going to consistently buy kicker jerseys and only kicker jerseys. So the fact that they keep cycling through is really going to drive up my my jersey budget. It's going to break the bank.
Well, that's by design, Katie. That's why they do this.
Because they know there's a big market for kicker jerseys. Yeah.
Just wait till Tressway starts dating like Taylor Swift, and all of a sudden you'll be hard to get your hands on a jersey.
I heard that he's actually trying to date Miley.
That's better for the PC cover.
Yeah. She pulled really well, or what's it called when you do market research? She did really well among that demographic, among the DC demographic. They're big Miley Cyrus fans.
I could absolutely see that. I feel like maybe Selena also, she started dating Nick Folk.
I would pay attention to whoever. If Selena Gomez dated somebody, I pay so much attention.
Yeah.
I feel like that's one of the only celebrities I'd be like, all right, I'm interested.
Yeah, the Kardashians stay away from the NFL and only date NBA players, right?
They need the tall people that can reach the top of their really expensive cabinets. It's practical.
I see. The difference is that Taylor Swift not have tall calves, so she can look a little shorter.
Exactly.
And Taylor is tall, so I don't know if she needs a NBA player.
That's true too. That's true too. And she might walk around her house in heels, which is an extra boost. Or platform shoes, right?
Yeah.
You already get those covered.
I do have to say, Katie, I didn't realize that was you place such importance on that, and now your marital choices make a lot more sense to me.
On height? Oh my gosh, yeah. Yeah, our cupboards are so tall. How am I supposed to use the top cupboards? That's why you marry a tall person. They reach stuff.
Makes sense.
I mean, it's like number one in what I was looking for.
And it worked out beautifully.
Yeah, I actually it created a few awkward first dates because I do bring tape measures because you can't trust it. They lie, right? They're gonna be like, oh, I'm like 6 foot. No, you're not, right? I can measure.
I see. And so when you invited over Matt to your apartment on your first date, you may have gotten a mixed message, but it sounds like you passed.
I also have, it's super good, super convenient. If you've ever been to gas stations, when you leave the gas station, there's like the measure. So if you rob the place, they know how tall you are. I have that on my door. Well, in college I did when I was on the market. Yeah. If he shrinks though in old age, ooh, I don't know.
No, that's
He's gonna have to wear platform shoes around the house.
You get him.
Yeah.
No, while he's young.
Platform shoes and his guy liner look good.
Oh, absolutely. I'm a big fan of guy liner. I think that more guys should wear guy liner.
Speaking of guy liner, Katie, I'm wondering if you what you think of my matchup with Ducky and my kickers. I don't think either of them wear guy liner, but I'm wondering who's you call it the kicking unit, kicker / punter, will be superior here.
Ooh, I mean, I am a Jordan Stout fan. But you did pick up a great kicker or a great punter. So I don't know. It's hard to say.
I do.
I'm gonna go with Nick this week. Just I gotta root for Jordan Stout. You know.
Is that because he would look good in guy
liner? No.
He definitely would. Look at his picture there.
Same.
But yeah, Jordan Stout has big shoes to fill. Sam Cook has been, the best punter in the league for a long time, and I know he hasn't been in the Ravens for like 2 seasons, but Jordan Stout.
Correctly, Jordan Stout was a pretty good punter. I always pay attention to the Penn State punters. So our one now is like he's pretty spotty. He's not bad. He's a fine punter. He's just spotty.
Yeah.
I don't know. Was that the hot take you were looking for?
Yeah. No.
Saying that Jordan Stout's good. I hope he stays good here.
Now, Snickers, what is your matchup of the week?
My matchup of the week was Matt and Katie going up against each other. It's always filled with high tension, filled with a lot of drama, and usually filled with Katie winning the last couple of years. So I'm gonna stick with Katie, I think, in this year.
Yeah, I'll go Katie too. I am curious then, Katie, for maybe you weigh in on my matchup of the week. Shane versus Kenny. And I noticed that they've got some pretty evenly matched kicking units. But Shane does have one of the Dixons. So.
Yeah. I think that I just think that Tyler Bass is a better kicker. I think he is. I think I tried to draft him and I was mad that I couldn't. I forget who. There was a kicker I was trying to draft and somebody took him before me. And I was mad. And
no, Tyler Bass is definitely good there. But Jake Elliott, rookie season with Carson Wentz, kicked a 60-yard field goal against the Giants to win the game, and Carson ended up giving him his game check. So I think I might have to think Jake Elliott's going to be the better kicker this week.
It's a bad financial move.
Hey, Carson Wentz has a lot of money, so he can do whatever he wants.
I will say that Shane's name is better.
Speaker, I hardly know her.
Yeah, that's a great name.
I'm glad Shane finally got to work in one of his favorite jokes into his team.
You just said it a lot.
Now let's go over to the offers report. I know you've been very active in the waiver wire this week or this year, Katie.
Oh yeah, all over it.
How much money do you have left? $100?
Yeah, I'm gonna put it all on. I'm gonna spend it all on punters and kickers.
You better get going. I think you only have 7 more weeks to spend it.
That's all I need. You gotta prep up. You gotta get ready for playoffs. You make all your trades at the deadline, obviously. Everybody knows that.
Let's see. Planning on pulling a Matt and spending it all in 1 week, maybe.
Yeah, but better. I'm gonna win and he didn't. So.
I think he may have dropped half the players that he spent on. But
no, my strategy is always to draft well, and if you draft well, you don't need to play the waiver wire.
oh, I was totally thinking the draft didn't matter. I didn't even show. But no, there was some interesting things that happened here. Ducky just had the worst luck, and he did exactly the same as me on Dalton Kincaid we talked about, and exactly the same as you, Snickers, on the Jets. And we also had a tie on DeMercado getting picked back up, which was the one that Matt at $7.
Yeah, that's 3 ties in this week, and we had a tie last week too, which is super interesting that the Fab thing is not working exactly how it's intended to. I guess we're just going back to a waiver wire.
At least the waiver wires are not based on activity anymore. They're just based on standings, kind of an evening measure.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I know at some point you'll get involved here, Katie. I don't think anyone spent any money on kickers thus far, so you may be free to spend as much as you want.
Yep, at least $90.
I think you'll
My
get
budget.
them if you put $90 on someone.
Now, at this point in the show, Katie, we usually talk a little bit of real football about the teams we're excited to watch this week. Who are you looking forward to seeing?
Yeah, I don't know. I only watch the Patriots, and they make me sad. So,
Patriots won last
what
week.
do you want me to say? I'm excited for college football.
Yeah. Who's Penn State got this week? You got
Indiana.
Yeah. I think you.
And we do
got-
this fun thing where
Buffalo.
after we lose, we like to try to lose again. So I would like for that not to happen this year.
Yeah, but you can't lose this week. You're not going to be able to lose after the bye.
Well, we already won after the bye because we played UMass. And
Yeah.
if we lost to UMass, I would just walk into the forest and never come back.
That was a fun game. I definitely didn't watch that because I knew what the score was going to be before the end of it. But Penn State was projected to win by 41, and they won 62-0. So congratulations there.
So sometimes we have offense. Who are you excited to see, Nate?
Yeah, I'm excited to watch Penn State lose as well.
Okay, sure.
No, I don't even watch Penn State. Boring. I also am having trouble watching the Patriots this year. I admit I did not tune into last week's game just because the did not pan out tuning into the last few games of watching teams pretend to play offense. So, but 49ers Bengals to me seems like a fun one this week that I'll probably be taking a look at. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, Bengals 49ers sounds fun, even with Sam Darnold as the projected starter here. I like the Jaguars Steelers because for whatever reason, the Steelers always lose to the Jaguars, even when the Jaguars are really bad. The Jaguars are good this year, so it's going to be fun to watch them there. I remember a playoff game a couple years ago. Jaguars won like 40-20 and just shocked the Steelers, and then the Jaguars went to New England for the AFC Championship game. I think it'll be a lot of fun there.
Yeah, I agree. It's been fun to watch the Jaguars this year. Well, we may probably let you get to dinner now, Katie. Thank you for taking the time.
Yeah, of course. It's carbonara, bacon carbonara, in case you were wondering, and the noodles have been sitting in the pot for the past few minutes.
Nice.
Letting the pasta get cold just for the show. So appreciate that big time.
Priorities.
I appreciate that, Katie. Always great to see you. See you soon,
Yep.
hopefully. And talk to you later.
I'll talk
Bye.
to all the rest of you next week.